Hi everyone, welcome to our Saturday STEAM class. My name is Miss Tammy and I'm so glad you could join me today. Today we are going to be talking about potential and kinetic energy, and we are going to make a little race car with very simple things that you probably have laying around your house. So let's get started. Let me tell you what you're going to need for this class. Again, it's all on our website, on our blog, so you can always look there if you need a list of supplies. But I will tell you, we are going to be using, and let me move my camera here so you can see, we're going to be using, you'll need a rubber band. You will need either a toothpick or maybe some little wooden dowels that I have here that are pretty thin so I can break them off. You'll be needing a spool. So these are little wooden spools, but I made it also with a spool just from home with some yarn on it, and that's something you might have laying around your house more. And you will need some tape and a washer. And the sizes will depend on the size of spool you're using. So you'll have to see what you're using and kind of play around with that. The cool thing about these is you really get to be an engineer and try different sizes of rubber bands, try different sizes of washers to see what works for your car to get it to move, okay? So those are some of them. I also threw in some washi tape that you could use to decorate your race car if you'd like. So let me show you mine, and let's talk a little bit about potential energy versus kinetic energy. So potential energy is stored energy. So it's has the potential, right, to become movement. So for example, this on top of my head has a lot of potential energy, but it's just sitting there. Or a rubber band stretched out like this has a lot of potential energy. See, it's stored energy because of its position. Now, if I let it go and shoot it across the room, that is kinetic energy. So that's the actual energy of motion. And when your potential energy is used, it's converted to kinetic energy, okay? So another example would be a car on top of a hill. When the car's just sitting there, it has a lot of potential energy. But as the car starts moving down the hill, it loses its potential energy, but it's gaining kinetic energy, right? So as it's moving, it picks up the kinetic energy, loses potential. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And this spool racer is what we're going to be using as we spin this around. It's got some potential energy, but it's not moving now. And as you set it down to let it go, it's releasing its potential energy, woo, and using kinetic energy. So let's go ahead. Go ahead and grab, I'm going to show you with just a wooden spool here, or you can use one from just some thread. You're going to be taking this and you are going to stick through it your rubber band. So the simplest way to do that is to just kind of either bend it and push it through to the other side. And then you might want to take your toothpick or your stick and kind of pull it through, okay? And you're going to want to, let's go ahead and save that on that side and on this side. Okay, so once you have your rubber bands through, and you may need to be kind of an engineer to try and get those through. Sometimes you have to push it through with like a tip of a, you could push it through with the tip of your toothpick or spool. On your one side, you're going to break it off so that it's just a small little piece like this, holding your rubber band in place. And you'll take some tape to secure that so that doesn't come off, okay? So go ahead and tape that side down. Okay, and that is going to just stay in place on that side. You're going to hold the rubber band. Let me hold it up closer so you can see, with a toothpick or whatever you have to keep it out there. You could even use a paper clip if your spool is big enough. Okay, now on the other side, you're going to attach your washer. depending on the size you need with the spool that you're using. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and stick my rubber band through my washer, and then I'm going to add, you might need an adult to help you hold on to this too. It can be a little tricky, especially since I'm doing a really small one. If yours is bigger, it will be easier. Okay, so you see this side, we've got our washer, we've got our rubber band through, it's taped and held on that side. And then on this side, basically, that's it. You could break yours down so it's a little smaller, easier to work with. On my blog, I talked about spinning it like, I don't know, I think I said like 20 times or so. But what I found with this one is it just needed spun just a few times to get it to move. This is a time too, you could decorate yours. You can make yours different than your friends so you can race them. So let me put a little piece of washi tape on here just to make it sparkly and fun. And that's it. That is your racer. So simple, so fun. And depending on the the items that you have to use, that yours is going to look much different. So here's this one. I ended up actually adding some rubber bands onto mine as well because it gave it some more traction when it was rolling. So like I said, you get to be an engineer and try what works for you, okay? So now we're going to just take this end. That one's taped closed. We're going to just spin it a few times and get the potential energy ready. And then once we release it, woo! We can see the kinetic energy at work. Let's do that one more time. Start it over here, and you can have fun racing your friends, practicing some potential and kinetic energy. And there it goes. So have fun with your spool racer. Let me know how it goes. Thank you for joining us for our STEAM class. And every Saturday, join us here for another STEAM class. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Borrow a Launchpad tablet from the Eagle Public Library. Launchpad tablets have learning apps, games, stories, and videos for kids of all ages, and lessons in math, reading, STEM education, and more.